I'm saying this as a former Republican, former MAGA. If you're a Republican and you are MAGA, you need to leave the party now, okay? Because your party just became the party that protects PDF files. And that's not hyperbolic. Here is my proof. Speaker Johnson has sent the House home for August recess. It's July 22nd.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. So this creator, who is a former MAGA, is saying that if you are still in the cult of MAGA, you need to leave now. If you continue to align yourself with this party, you are now a part of a party that is actively supporting child molesters, child traffickers, child rapists. I mean, the political right in this country has a long history of protecting child predators. There is a Google Doc. If you are watching this on YouTube, I will link to it in the video description. From an activist, you can also find their account here on Blue Sky. It's got more than 1,300 names of people on the political right, activists, politicians, etc., who have been convicted or accused of being sexual predators. I'll probably talk about this in the next video, but we have another one today, Jason Yates, who's the CEO of My Faith Votes. He was a big Republican get out the vote guy. Yeah, he pled guilty to child porn possession. But specifically, I want to get back to this initial creator. So he's saying that Mike Johnson decided to put the House on recess early in July. Go ahead and start your August recess in July. And that way we don't ever get to vote on the issues around Ghislaine Maxwell and the Epstein files. I completely agree with this creator, whether or not Trump is in those files. You know that there is information in there that the American public deserves to know. We know that there's information in there that will help victims of Epstein and all of his friends that he partied with get justice. Why would you delay releasing that? It doesn't matter if Trump isn't in there. That act of delaying, that act of trying to do whatever you can to not release that information, you are protecting child predators. You are protecting human traffickers. Mike Johnson is protecting child predators. It doesn't matter if Trump is one of them or not. I absolutely agree with this creator. If you are still aligned with the Republican Party, if you are still MAGA, not only are you supporting a fascist party and all of the horrible things that they are doing in this country, carrying out an ethnic cleansing, destroying our economy, stripping 17 million people of their health care by gutting Medicaid, you are funneling working class people's tax dollars straight into the pockets of billionaires. If none of that was a bridge too far for you, if none of that was a red line, then supporting a party that actively protects child predators should be. After all, y'all are the folks who said we need justice for Epstein's victims. So many of y'all voted for Trump because he promised you he would release the Epstein files, he would expose the deep state, and that the people who preyed on little children, little girls as young as 12, 13 years old would face justice. So the only reason Mike, I have to text my son every time I jerk off Johnson, would delay having a vote, would delay releasing that information is because he is protecting child predators. I mean, speaking of helping child predators.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something recommended. It's something I'm allowed to do it. It's something I have not thought about.
Except we know now he is thinking about it. We know his Department of Justice is thinking about it. We know that they're having talks with Ghislaine Maxwell. They're talking about commuting her sentence or pardoning her. A woman who was convicted and is serving 20 years for her role in procuring and abusing children with Jeffrey Epstein and his friends. If you still support Donald Trump, you are supporting a man, you are supporting a regime that wants to pardon people who are convicted sexual predators. I mean, let's not forget that some of the January 6th insurrectionists that Donald Trump pardoned had criminal records for things like sexual abuse of a minor, production of child sexual abuse material, and rape. So Trump already has a history of pardoning sexual predators, including kid diddlers. But I actually stumbled upon this clip, I think it's from 2020, where Trump said some interesting things about Ghislaine Maxwell. And it seems very relevant to share it now.
Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that
She has. She's been arrested for that.
her friend or boyfriend
Epstein.
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well.
Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that?
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out, how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
she's a
made it
alleged child sex
such a
trafficker.
big deal. But all it is her boyfriend died. He died in jail.
Now, let's be clear, Donald Trump was president when Jeffrey Epstein died in prison. Despite the fact that a year before this interview, Trump was making claims on Twitter that Jeffrey Epstein's death might have been at the hands of Bill and Hillary Clinton, resharing tweets and using the hashtag Clinton body count when referencing Epstein's death. But again, that was during the Trump administration. So why wasn't there a thorough investigation into Epstein's death? Why was all of that sealed? Trump, during his first term, could have cracked this wide open. But he didn't. And also, interestingly, he kept referring to Jeffrey Epstein as Ghislaine's boyfriend, even though Epstein said that he and Trump were the closest of friends. And like, what the fuck do you mean I wish her well? She's a child sex trafficker. So let's be clear, if you are choosing to continue to align yourself with MAGA, you are saying, I support a party whose Department of Justice is carrying out a cover-up. They are lying to the American people. They have told us that there's nothing more to investigate. They don't need to release any more of the files. They are looking into pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted child sex trafficker. If she comes forward and says, oh yeah, I know it's on the list, it's the Clintons and Donald Trump's definitely not on it. And they'll say, oh, that's proof then we don't have to release the list. We have the word of Ghislaine Maxwell who, we got her testimony in exchange for a pardon or a commutation or whatever they're going to do. You are now supporting a party that is actively suppressing the release of information that will get justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his friends. You are now supporting a party that is covering up a child sex scandal. You supported MAGA because they were a party that promised you they were going to expose the deep state. But now you can clearly see that they are actively protecting that deep state, exposing the truth to you and me and everybody else that they are protecting the deep state because it's them. It's them, y'all. It's them. So do you want to continue to be with the party that protects predators? You want to be part of the pedophile party because that's what the GOP is in this country now.